Hi, everyone. This is Judy. Um, this is my take on news going on right now in politics. I wrote a I wrote a post on my Facebook, and I just wanted to um, read it to you guys and kind of like break down why I wrote it and some of the arguments for and against this. And a couple of people unfriended me, but hey, whatever. So, anyways, and this is about the articles of impeachment that were passed today. All right, so I said not one single Republican broke ranks today to pass the articles of impeachment. Not one. Forget the obvious fact that we have extreme partisanship in our country and realize one thing: the Republicans are a solid force. This should concern Democrats. If you guys can't stop your petty bickering over righteousness, you will lose. There is no unity in the Democratic Party. It is your election to lose. Right or wrong, the Republicans stand together. If you think they won't show up to vote for their guy and you decide to stay home again because this or that candidate accepted money from a group you don't like, then you guys really do deserve to lose. And that means the country loses for 4 more years because Trump will not be convicted. The Congress will fail to stop his reign, and it is your civic duty to put your actions where your mouth is. Otherwise, just stop talking out and accept defeat. So, when I sat there and watched the vote today, I watched every single Republican vote no. And you could see that some of them were even like ashamed of their vote, but they're not going to break ranks. Like they're just not. And you need to be worried about that because the Democrats have no problem breaking ranks. Not one single problem. And by the way, I'm independent. Used to be conservative, used to be Republican. Now I'm not. I was part of Never Trump, in case you guys don't know, because some people get mad at me because they thought I was a Democrat and I'm not. So, anyways, this is really concerning, you guys. Like it really is, because there's a lot of like bickering back and forth in the Democrat Party. And there's this extreme faction in the Democratic Party that wants it all their way or no way. Either they get 100% of everything they want, or they're going home. They're not voting. And that leaves everyone else in a really jacked up predicament. Should they, how can you sit there and not support your own people? Like, yeah, you don't like the fact that, they're not making, or they're not talking about making as much progress as you would like them to make, but progress is progress. And they're making it. It's either that or getting stuck with Trump for 4 more years. And like it's just amazing to me. Like, I thought that they would have learned their lesson from last time, but obviously they didn't. And that's the problem. Like, I was me and a lot of my friends, a lot of my Never Trump friends, we could never ever even like imagine ever voting for a Democrat ever. And after everything that the Republicans have done, after showing who they really are, it was it was hard to sit there and watch this party like just fall apart. But it did. And I don't know, maybe I was naive, maybe they were like this all the time, but I truly believe they're BS. I truly believe that they were there for people and they cared about people and this and that and whatever, whatever. And then Trump happened, and I saw one by one by one, all of them just bow down to this guy and just bend the knee and do whatever he wanted. And, anyways, slowly I came to realize that the only way to stop this guy is gonna be to vote for a Democrat. That's just what it is. As an independent, we don't have an actual independent candidate who's actually viable. And then the way that the two-party system is, they make it so hard for independents to actually vote. And in some states like mine, I'm in Nebraska, I can't vote for the primaries. I can't vote as an independent. I have to register as one or the other. That's how they stay in power. And that'll be some discussion for another day. But the fact is that there's a lot of independents out there who are willing to do the right thing to stop this guy. Because you may not like a candidate 100%, and you might think, well, they take money from this place and that place and whatever. But overall, they're a good person. They're not this guy who is like literally just evil, who just likes to do evil, like putting babies in cages. Like he started that policy. Yeah, he backtracked because he's a coward and got a lot of flack for it, but he started it. Like he started that policy. That policy was never there beforehand. And you guys are the main people who sit here and just complain and complain and complain and complain all the time about this guy and how are we not doing this? We need this, we need that, we need that. But yeah, you're willing to not vote. You are actually willing to not vote. Like, that means, like, all this talk, it doesn't mean jack anything. It doesn't mean anything. If you don't take your ass to the damn polls and vote, it doesn't mean anything. You just running your mouth. That's all it is. And you know what? No one takes you guys seriously. No one. Like, you sit here and you act like you're so much better than well, my guy doesn't take donations. My gal doesn't take donations from so and so and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, whatever, they all take donations. Like, they all need it. Like, even, what's her face? Warren said, okay, well, not in the primary, I won't take donations from big companies, but in the general, I will. And you guys are perfectly fine with that. And it's like, because it's not even fathomable to just think that you can't take any donations. Like, there's a lot of money in politics and you're not going to change it overnight. And these politicians know that. And they can sit here and say a good game to you guys, but the fact of the matter is that that's what it is. That's what it is. A lot of them are shady. Actually, all of them are shady in their own way. And it's after converting to independent, like, I have become cynical. I have become cynical to a lot of this politics because they're really, honestly, like, if you're in politics, like, you're looking for power or money. Like, how does my senator here in Nebraska, she her net worth was like around 300K or whatever when she got into the Senate, and now it's like over 3 million. How does that happen in one term? Like, how does that happen? It's like, okay, anyways, that's a conversation for another day. So let me break down kind of why I wrote this. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me tell you guys some of the arguments that I have gotten in response to what I wrote. One of my I guess ex-friends now. I won't call them out, but it's kind of funny. She said, "Let the Republicans do just that. They're 38% of America. 38% doesn't win anything." Like, why don't you understand that this is a general, like, during the general election, it's more than just your base. Like, always. I don't even know how you don't know that. Like, have you just started voting? Like, that's what it is. You need to get independence. You need to get even some crossover votes sometimes. And you know what? Trump did that. Trump did that, and guess what? He's in the White House. He got crossover votes. There was a lot of people in the Rust Belt who crossed over and voted for this guy. And you know what? They'll probably do it again. Unless they are given the choice of a more moderate candidate that they can vote for, that they feel represents them, that they feel that they can connect with, because a lot of people vote on emotion, a lot. And I would say most of them, it's all about who they trust and who they like personally. And, honestly, it's not about that, at least not now anymore. It's about who can win. That's what it is. It's about numbers and who can win and who's going to stop that tyrant. So anyways, she went on to say that I was, doing supercilious attacks, which means like you come off as seeming like you're better than someone or whatever. And I thought it was funny because I wasn't even attacking her. Like, I was stating my opinions on my post that you hopped onto. Um, and then to sit there uh, and say, well, they're only 38%. It's like you're minimizing their percentage and their capabilities. They didn't get to the White House on a whim. Like, they got there fair and square. And you can sit here and you can blame all these other factors, but the fact of the matter is that he won votes, and he won votes in the right places where it mattered. I mean, Hillary Clinton, she got 3 million more votes or whatever, but not in the right places. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters, honestly, at the end. Anyways, she unfriended me, obviously. I told you guys that. Let's see. One of my friends was sitting here saying, don't confuse the extreme left with Democrats. Working with them is about as possible as working with Trump is. This is kind of going to the point that I was trying to make in my post. Is like, for example, that friend in particular, that second one I just talked about, she's a Democrat, and she's proud to be a Democrat. And she sits there and she tries to dispel all these things that people say about Democrats, because honestly, like, everyone sees Democrats now as extremist, as socialist, because the ones who are self-proclaimed socialist are the ones who are the loudest and have the loudest megaphones. Honestly, they yell the loudest, they complain the loudest, and they're the ones who are rabidly attacking other people. And you know what? Like, it's just not representative. Like, it's just really not. It's like you can sit there and say like, oh, well, we're getting big. Well, yeah, you are, but you're still not the majority. And, honestly, if you're not going to play with your team, then why don't you just get out? Honestly, like, why don't you just start your own party? Like, you don't like the Democrats, then start your own party. Don't come in here and start a game. This is what I tell people all the time. Don't come in here and start a game and then um get pissed off because your fellow team members, you don't like them. And so you take your ball and you go home and you leave your team with a few less people. And then you want to get pissed off the next day when you find out that, hey, guess what? The other team won. Well, don't be surprised. I mean, none of them took their ball and went home. None of their team players went home in protest. None of them. Like, they stood the line. And that's one thing I'll give it to them. I will give it to the Republicans that they know how to keep their ranks. They are a solid force. And if you are not able to see that, then you are really underestimating these people. You are really underestimating them. And that is really dangerous because when you underestimate people, you are not as motivated as them to show up and vote. You are not as motivated to actually make the progress that you supposedly say you want. And you know what? That's going to turn around and bite you guys in the ass just like it did last time. You know, and it didn't just turn around and bite you guys. It bit everyone. You wanted to sit here and chant, Bernie or bust, Bernie or bust. Yeah, well, guess what? Our country is bust now. Give it 4 more years and let's see where we are. I heard today in the news that Trump did a trade agreement with China or whatnot. Well, first he caved, obviously. But if he hadn't caved, you know, our economy would be really jacked up starting next week. And I mean, this trade war that he has had with China has hurt people, has hurt farmers, has hurt consumers. And all over what? I don't even know. His ego, I guess. But, you know, he doesn't know jack squat about anything, honestly. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff that'll keep happening. The only reason that he made that trade agreement was because he's in the middle of an impeachment and election season is here. So let's say he wins and election season is not here. Do you think this I love tariff guy is gonna go back to his tariffs or not? He probably is, because he really thinks that that's a good thing. This guy is rich. He doesn't care about little people. He doesn't care, and to sit here in delusion and think that he does, it's what it is. It's delusion. And to sit here and believe that the Republicans are supposedly no one to be feared, oh, they're going to lose anyways. You know what? If you keep spreading that message that, oh, Republicans are going to lose anyways, then guess what? A lot of people aren't even going to show up because they're going to be like, oh, well, my vote doesn't matter and Republicans are going to lose anyways. I mean, how can they not lose with this crazy guy at the helm of it? How can people not see it? And it's like, just because you surround yourself with people who think like you, people who acknowledge and know that this guy is crazy, that doesn't mean that tens of millions of other people don't think that this dude is like the best thing since sliced bread. Like he has given voice to the white nationalists, to the Nazis. Let's call them what they are: white supremacists, Nazis, neo-Nazis. He has given them a platform. He has said that they are very fine people. Do you really, really honestly think that they are going to go down without a fight? They have been the scum of our country, and they have hid in the shadows for a very long time because no one really even listened to them. These alt-right hosts, the crazies on the radio, like, no one actually took them seriously. And now they do. Like, now they're like a big deal. And it's all because of Trump. And if you want to continue this petty BS that you have, like, fix your damn party, Democrats. Fix your damn party. Like, seriously. Like, stop your crap. Get behind someone already. And Stop sitting here and nitpicking about every little freaking thing. Who gives a crap that this person took money from here? Who gives a crap? Like, seriously, is this a good person? Will this person fix things? Will this person get these mother freaking babies out of cages at the border? Will they reunify those families? Will they fix the justice system? Will they stop criminalizing or targeting minorities? Will they help the Native Americans not get their land grabbed over and over for oil that supposedly doesn't spill, but yet it has spilled? Like, are they going to fix these issues? Are they going to get back into the climate accord? That is what is important. It doesn't matter if we don't get everything all at once, but at least we're getting something and not going backwards like we are with Trump. I don't know. I've just been taught not to sit here and cry and pout when I don't get my way. And that's honestly what you guys are doing. And everybody sees it, honestly. And if you lose, that will be on you and no one else. And you know what? I really don't want to hear you cry when you lose because you wouldn't go and vote. That is when you can express your opinion. That is the best time to express your opinion. Not to sit here and say that you're going to protest your vote. That is your voice. That is what made us, is to be able to vote for people who represent us. And yet you're going to protest that. That is the stupidest thing to protest in a democratic society, to protest your own freedom of democracy. That's just insane.